Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. Attorneys for Lisa Montgomery say the Trump administration violated the Constitution and federal law this week by executing their client who suffered from severe mental illness. On Wednesday, Montgomery became the first woman the federal government has put to death in nearly 7 decades. Montgomery's execution came after hours of legal wrangling. Ultimately, the Supreme Court cleared the way for the execution to move forward. As a curtain was raised in the execution chamber, Montgomery glanced at journalists peering at her from behind thick glass.
When you're in the room, they're given the opportunity to give a final statement. And today, she had a mask on while she was already strapped to the gurney, and they asked her if she had any final last words before they took that mask off of her. So to me, it looked like she maybe tried to respond, so they took the mask off, and then they asked her again if she had any final statements, and she just said no, and she didn't say anything else.
As the lethal injection began, Montgomery kept licking her lips and gasped briefly as pentobarbital, the lethal drug, entered her body through IVs on both arms. A few minutes later, her midsection throbbed for a moment, but quickly stopped.
She was looking to her left and didn't really acknowledge anyone else in the room. She had her eyes open, but seemed pretty calm and eventually just kind of closed her eyes.
At 1:30 a.m., an official walked into the room, listened to her heart and chest, then walked out. She was pronounced dead a minute later.
I think for a lot of us, we expected to see a little bit more, but really, Lisa Montgomery, from the moment that we got in there, within 15 minutes, everything was done.
The family of Bobby Joe Stinnett, the 23-year-old Montgomery killed in the northwest Missouri town of Skidmore in 2004, declined to comment on the execution. Montgomery used a rope to strangle Stinnett, who was 8 months pregnant, and then cut the baby girl from Stinnett's womb with the kitchen knife. Montgomery took the child with her and attempted to pass the girl off as her own. Montgomery's legal team says she suffered sexual torture for years, including gang rapes as a child, permanently scarring her emotionally and exacerbating mental health issues that ran in her family.